Hello my friends, this is Kachi aka Delacaba, we're here today to take a look at Fallout Shelter. Now I have played a fair amount and I've gotten kind of a leg up on how things work, and so what our intention is going to be here is to show you guys a little bit about how to get started, maybe some hints and tips, but we're going to create our vault here. Congratulations, Vault-Tec has selected you to be the overseer of Vault 304. Vault keeps people safe from the dangers of the wasteland. As overseer, your job is to expand and maintain the vault while keeping your dwellers safe and happy. Each room has a special attribute it uses. Assign dwellers with the best special to make them happy and produce extra resources. Vault-Tec will give you a daily rating based on your performance. Remember to keep your dwellers happy and to do a great job. Please stand by. Alright, so helpful hint. Welcome to your new Vault Overseer. Let's introduce you to the basic concepts. Click OK. Helpful hint. First, let's build a room. Click on the hammer icon to open the build menu. So let's just point out some things here. First of all, right up here in the top right corner, we have our bottles of Nuka-Cola. You can get bottles of Nuka-Cola by rummaging around in the wasteland, getting them in lunch boxes. You can also purchase them, but we're going to do a playthrough in which we're not spending any money because we want to show that this game is fun and can have a lot of progress happen without having to spend a penny. Up here is your caps. This is basically the funds you have available, and again, you gain caps for accomplishing certain goals, for your character's leveling, for selling stuff, and you can rummage them up in the wasteland. And again, you can actually purchase caps to facilitate your gameplay. Down here, you'll see that we have a hammer icon, and that's what we're going to click to open the build menu. What we have here is a side view of a mountain excavation. This is the main room here where we enter the vault. These are the elevators, and this room over here is the living quarters, and we're going to be expanding upon this. But let's go ahead and click the hammer, and you can see the very first thing it's offering us is the power generator. Helpful hint, we'll build a power generator that'll produce power. Click on the power room. So when we click here, it'll give us the opportunity to build or to cancel. We are going to build. Now, when you place rooms, understand that certain things will get in your room. Big rocks like this will get in your way of building the room. This material here is permanent. It cannot be removed, and that means there's only 2 rooms worth of space here. And because we're going to need a lot of power and a lot of water, what we want to do is we want to make it possible to build some pretty big stuff. So we're actually going to start down here at the very bottom right, because the power room doesn't have items that need to be transported back and forth and so on and so forth, so we don't have to worry about how long it takes our vault dwellers to travel from the power room to other locations. So we're going to build it right there. Alright, so you can see that cost us 100 caps, and you can see that we now have a new pop-up down here, and this pop-up in this bottom right hand corner basically represents our Pip-Boy, and that's where we're going to go to a bunch of information. You can see because it's unoccupied, we got little rats running around in there. They're kind of cute. This up here, when we click at this gear up here with the 0 in it, will actually show us all our vault dwellers as we go. But let's continue on. Helpful hint, we now need dwellers to make the power generator produce power. And starting out the game, you'll see that we have a group of dwellers who have arrived at the entrance. Look, new dwellers have shown up at the vault door. Let's look at the stats of a dweller. Click on a dweller to see their info. So you'll see that Richard Jones here has level 1. He's at 50% happiness, and this is his health bar right here. Now down below here we have special. Special is a acronym for the various attributes that are part of the makeup of our survivor. S is for strength, P is for perception, E is for endurance, C is for charisma, I is for intelligence, A for agility, and L for luck. So we can see that Richard Jones has a very high strength score, and he also has a very high charisma score. This is good because it takes strength to operate the power room, and it takes charisma to successfully mate your dwellers and make some whoopee in the wasteland. I think we may have to write a song, Whoopee in the Wasteland. But this is stim packs. If we had stim packs available, we could heal him with stim packs, and this is Radaway, so that if he had a radiation level that was damaging him, if we had Radaway, we could remove his radiation. He is wearing some common civilian clothes right now, and he's armed only with a fist. Helpful hint, you can see the dweller's special stats. We know that. Alright. To assign a dweller, click and hold on the dweller, then drag them to a room. Try assigning this dweller to the power generator room you just built. Now, your mouse wheel will allow you to zoom in and out. If you hold your left mouse button, you can move your screen around to see. But since strength is the aspect that's important for the power supply, he's ideal to work in our power room. So we're going to drag him down here, and you'll see once we get him in the correct place, an S for strength will pop up along with his score, which is a 5. And if we just let go, he'll drop right there, and he's now put on his vault suit. He's on his way down to the power supply. Now assign the second dweller to the power generator. Remember to click and hold and then drag the dweller to the room. And if we click on her, it's not going to allow us to see what her stats are at the moment. So we're just going to drop her down here. She's got a strength of 2. We're going to get her in there. But when you put dwellers on an assignment that's appropriate, harmonious to what their talents are, it makes them happier. So him having a high strength means he's going to be happiest in a high strength job. Helpful hint, now that dwellers are working, the room will start producing resources. Double click on a room to take a closer look. If we double click, we'll see who's working in the room, and they'll say little things, which is fun, but we'll also have a close-up of the room. Now, helpful hint, if you are in dire need of extra resources, you can use the rush mode. Click the rush button to open the rush menu. Alright, so as you can see, when we double clicked on the room and zoomed in, it gave us a pop-up here. Power generator, strength, is what the primary attribute is. That's why we have an S. It's producing 10 power currently, and the next rush of power that it'll dump will be in 1 minute 54 seconds. If we want to rush, we click that, and it'll show us what we get if we succeed at doing the rush. Rewards, we can gain 34 caps, 90 XP, that applies to all our dwellers, but there's a 33% chance we'll have an incident. And it wants us to do the rush, just so that we learn. And as you can see, succeeding, we got some extra caps and we got some extra experience points. Helpful hint, great, you've successfully completed your first rush and collected caps. Let's build a second room. The diner. Now you notice that whereas the power generator took strength to get the most efficiency out of it when people are working it, we need people with the attribute of agility to do the best in the diner. And it costs us 100 caps to build it. So we're going to build that. Now, again, the idea is that we want to make sure we have room to expand. And so over here where we only have space for 2 rooms, we'll actually be putting storage there. So we're going to put the diner down here on the bottom left. Now let's build one more room. And you'll see now we have the water treatment plant. And it takes perception for people to work it. And we're going to build the water treatment plant right directly above our power line. There we go. Great work. Here's some food and water to start your vault. Look at the meters to keep track of your resources. Now the meters it's talking about are, of course, these up here. This is power. The middle one is food, and the one on the right is water. Look, more dwellers have shown up at the door. Now that you know the basic rules of the Overseer role, keep expanding your vault. Just remember to keep your dwellers alive and happy. Good luck. Alright, so now that we're out of that, you see that we've had 5 new dwellers arrive. First, let's get a look at her stats real quick. So you'll see we click her, it shows that it gives us the information on the power generator. Alright, but we can see she's level 1, she's at full health. Actually, intelligence is her highest special score, and so when we get things going with intelligence, she potentially will be the one that we're going to be putting to work in something that's intelligence based, like making Radaway or making stim packs. But let's get a look at what we got here for dwellers. So our first dweller is Sarah Walker, and Sarah Walker has a pretty high agility, and she's so-so in the charisma department and the intelligence department. With a high intelligence, of course, that's for sciencey stuff, but we know that agility is for the diner. So we're going to take her and we're going to assign her to the diner. A single room can hold 2 dwellers. If we double the size of that room, it's 4. If we triple the size of that room, it's 6. So she's going to sit down to work in our diner. Let's look at our next dweller, Gloria Thompson. Gloria Thompson's pretty average all the way across the board, so we're going to hold off assigning her anywhere. Let's look at our next fella. He is Eric Wilson. Eric Wilson is pretty high in luck, and he's a little above average in charisma, intelligence, and agility. So we're going to hold off assigning him. Let's look at our next fella. This is Eric Mitchell, and he has a very high A. So we're going to take him and we're going to put him down here in the diner. And you can see that we just had something that said completed. Well, over here, if we click, we'll see that we've got a number of different things here. We've got Vault-Tec lunch boxes, and if we had found any lunch boxes, this would be where we opened them, or we can actually purchase starter packs and lunch boxes and all that. But like I say, we're not here to spend money. We're here to play a game. We also have a quest list, but we have to be able to build the Overseer's office before we can access that. But right here, you can see that we have objectives, and we managed to accomplish the objective of assign 2 dwellers to the right room. So we're going to claim that. That'll give us 25 caps. And we'll get a new objective. Now, once a day, you can close one of the objectives and skip it. But you'll see we have collect 50 water, and that'll give us a Vault-Tec lunchbox. We have successfully rushed 1 room. That'll give us a Vault-Tec lunchbox. And send 1 dweller to the wasteland. That'll give us 25 caps. So you notice we've got our pop-up here. This is indicating to us that the power has completed its cycle. We got to click that, and that will collect the power. And there's a chance that we might get some bonus caps, and the higher the luck of the people working in a room, the greater the chance that we'll collect bonus caps when we complete a build cycle. But alright, let's look at our next dweller here, Sarah Lord. Now, Sarah is kind of average in perception, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck. And we know that it takes perception to work here in the water plant. You'll see P for perception. Alright, so what we want to do is we've got 2 dwellers who are strength-based dwellers that are working here. Whoops, we got to collect the food. There we go. Working here in our power room. We've got 2 that are agility-based dwellers working here in our food production in the diner. And what we need now is we need 2 that are perception-based to work here in our water treatment plant. And we've just had another dweller show up. So let's see what we got here. He's pretty average too. Now, here we are, and we've got all these dwellers, and we're thinking, well, gee, how can we make a better comparison on these guys? And if we come up here and we click, it'll show us all the dwellers in a list. Now, we can sort this list based on any of these things. So here we've got our dwellers, and we can sort them by level. You see they're all level 1, so that doesn't make any difference. We can sort them by their happiness, with the happiest being Richard Jones, currently in the power station. Their status, which is the jobs they're working on, or by job. and you'll see that most of them are waiting for job assignments. All right. But more importantly, we can sort by special, and it'll go right in the order of the letters. So starting with strength, you can see that we have Richard Jones is our strongest character. Well, Gloria Thompson outside actually is about the same strength as Madison Bowman, and the order they're in basically is their alphabetical order, so they're pretty much the same. All right, but we need perception, and perception, of course, is what we need for the operation of our water treatment plant. Now you notice Patrick Hill here is kind of averaging his perception. He's at the same score as Eric Mitchell, but Eric Mitchell is high in agility, which we need for the diner. So this tells us that Linda Fisher and Patrick Hill are going to be our best candidates for working in the water processing station. So Linda Fisher and Patrick Hill. We're just going to click close, collect our food. So we're going to take Patrick Hill here, and we're going to put him to work in there. And then Linda Fisher, is this Linda Fisher? That's Sarah Lord. There's Linda Fisher. So we're going to put Linda Fisher to work here as well. And collect our power. So now we've got 2 dwellers, which is our maximum working here in the diner, 2 dwellers, which is our maximum working in the power supply, and 2 dwellers, which is the maximum working here in our water collection. All right. So the thing is we've got all these other dwellers, and we just had another one come up, and so obviously we want to be able to put them to work. 2 of them we can put on guard duty here in the entrance, but we can also put people here in our living quarters, and they will maybe fall in love and make babies. But you see down here, it shows that we have a level up available for these guys, and when we click them, they'll level up, and we'll get a few caps out of the deal. So they are now level 2. Well, let's look at this new dweller, Tiffany Bush. She's, again, pretty average. So what we're going to do is we're going to, again, look at our dwellers. We're going to go to perception, and we're going to take a look. Let's see here. Go all the way back to strength. So you know, Madison Bowman happens to be a little higher in intelligence than she is in some of her other stats. So we're going to trade out Madison Bowman for Gloria Thompson down in the power center. And to do a trade like that, all we have to do is just bring her on down. Strength 0. That's obviously not the one I want. Where is she here? We're going to pull her out and put her up here for just a moment. Is it you? Let's see. Gloria Thompson. There we go. Gloria Thompson. Strength 2 would drop her in. So we now have our 2 best choices. As of this time, here and down here, and you can see that water we collected is now going towards our collect 50 water perk. But let's look at this feller. He is very high in intelligence as well. So let's just drop him here in the entrance to the vault, just so we can keep our 2 most intelligent characters together. And we got another character to level up here. And now we've got all these Captain Average here. The vault is full of dwellers. Build more living quarters. Alright, so